At this point, it was getting pretty obvious that I was probably going to die.
Terrifying situation, obviously, for so many people. And for one Sevier County volunteer firefighter, he was convinced he would not make it out of the inferno alive.
Jim Carr, Sevier County Volunteer Fire Department. They started out, had decided to come over to the fire department and hang out that day. Got halfway to the department and we got an alarm for tanker and manpower support. So I took tanker 111 to the fire. A really big fire, just kind of chaos. The fire had circled back with a wind change, didn't have an air pack, didn't have a mask. You couldn't see anything. And I knew that I was trapped and couldn't get out. I made an end-of-life video for my wife and kids, made a few phone calls, and in talking to my wife, she works for our assistant chief at their day job. She gave the phone to my assistant chief. She had asked if the thermal imaging camera was still in the truck.
Stephanie Specht, Assistant Chief, Sevier County Volunteer Fire Department. Volunteer, I have a full-time job, was at work, did not have my radio with me. About 1:02, I believe it was, a text came over stating that there were personnel trapped on Hatcher Mountain. I immediately stopped what I was doing at work and asked who it was. A few minutes later, they finally confirmed that it was our tanker and our personnel, and I knew immediately who would be on that tanker. Jim's wife works with me, and I said, well, they're trying to reach him, can you call him? Third time she called him, she had him on speakerphone. The first thing that he screamed was he was trapped. I just took her phone from her. At that point, it was my radio. I asked him what he could see. Could he see any black? He said he couldn't see the hand in front of his face. And all of a sudden, it just dawned on me. I'm like, is the tick still on tanker 111? So he starts looking, found the tick, and I said, look for a cold spot and get out. Of course, that was like the longest 5 or 10 minutes of my life, worried that my personnel was gonna perish up there.
So I started feeling around the truck, ended up finding the thermal imaging camera and powered it up, and I started getting images of where I was. I went walking to the side and down the hill, and I could see through the thermal imaging camera a dark area laid out, and the closer I got to it, I realized that it was a fresh cut dozer trail. Made it about halfway down it, smoke started clearing up. It was like, okay, I'm probably gonna make it because I know where I'm at.
Jim says there were 2 things that saved his life. One is this special device. It's called a thermal imaging camera. And the second, he says, the grace of God.
We were driving back after lots of tears, obviously. Made him sign the tick, write the date and where the incident was, and reached out to Seek Thermal and explained that I wanted him to keep that, saved his life, and they donated one to replace it, which was amazing. If it wasn't for that thermal imaging camera, Jim would not be here today.